Hey everybody, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here. On today's Xterra Talk, I'm going to be going through a project that I get a lot of requests to kind of explain what I did and how I did it. And that's my rear hatch modifications. So if you're not familiar, I've got some quick fists basically installed on the back hatch that hold up a shovel, a Fisker's axe, a Mora knife that I've got back there, and a small flashlight, like a Larry Nebo kind of magnetic flashlight. So on this video, on this episode, I'm going to really quickly kind of walk you through that. I'm going to give you directions basically to simplify it as much as possible to show you exactly where the screws are that hold the hatch on and give you some sort of tips and things that I learned when I was doing this modification myself. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy the content, please click the like button. And if you're not already, click the subscribe button and the bell to be notified when I drop new videos. I'm doing a lot more of these Xterra Talk ones with Xterra modification. So if you've got an Xterra, Pathfinder, Frontier, anything like that, there's definitely going to be more content coming. So definitely click that subscribe button and let's get into the video. All right, guys, so I wanted to do a quick walkthrough for Xterra Talk of how I made my sort of custom, if you will, mounts for the rear hatch of the truck. Pay no attention to those god-awful LED strips here. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I'm probably just going to pull those off because it looks pretty hideous, but it was kind of neat to have sort of like a rave going on in the back of the truck. They are battery powered, which is kind of nice, so I use rechargeable batteries, just kind of keep them on the charger, and then when I want to use it, I throw them in there, plug them in, and then I've got additional lighting back here, but honestly, I don't really need it. Like, inside here you can see, this is another project I'll talk about another time, but I put some LED lights in the top up there, so those in conjunction with this actually put out quite a bit of light, so I don't really need the extra LEDs, to be honest. But so anyways, this mod was actually really easy. You'll notice here on the edges of these handles, these pieces actually pop off. So if you just get a fingernail or a screwdriver in there and pry that off, you pop that off and there's a screw in there and there's a screw in there. And then over here with first aid kit, you'll notice there is a screw right there and there is also a screw right there. All right, so after you pull off those two screws in the handle and those two screws behind the first aid kit, it's just clips that hold this thing on. So you'll want to kind of just give it a good solid yank. Again, maybe like a trim tool would be ideal, or worst case, a flathead screwdriver to get up in between here. Now, you'll notice I've got, a full-size shovel. I've got an axe, which is down right now, I'm using it, but I've got a Fisker's axe. I've got this Larry Nebo flashlight, which is kind of nice too because it can also serve as additional light on the back when the hatch is open, or I can remove it because it's just on a quick fist. And then I've got a Mora knife, which I use that mostly for cooking and things like that. It also just gives me an option, if I'm in the back of the truck and coyotes attacked me or something, at least there's something there, right? And then the factory first aid kit's up here as well. But with all that stuff, it does make for a lot of extra weight. So kind of my solution was, there are actually some existing holes up in here, and I literally just drilled a couple holes through the plastic and then ran a zip tie through there just to give it a little bit of extra strength and to make sure this wasn't flopping around too much. So I did one on that side, and then I did one on this side, so those factory holes are on both sides. So that's all I did to give it a little bit of extra hold, if you will. And then as far as the quick fists go, if you've ever seen these, if you're familiar with them, basically once you take the plastic down, you're gonna see there's some like bracing on the back of this, like some plastic honeycomb kind of stuff on the back of this that gives it rigidity and strength. So you just want to be careful kind of where you're picking. I tried to sort of line it up, and then what I did was I actually drilled. I kind of, I looked at the back and I tried to find a spot, and then I just kind of eyeballed it and guessed, and I drilled a hole through from here and here to make sure that they lined up. And again, I looked at the back to find spots where there weren't honeycomb, and I tried to line them up that way, and I didn't have any problems, just kind of making it up. So I've got two of the mid-size, shovel size quick fists for the axe, two of the same ones for the shovel. You do have to, this isn't a terribly large hatch, so like this Fisker shovel is just barely fits. Like if you're just a little bit off when you put it back up, it will clip the insides of the back of the truck. So you do want to be a little bit careful about that. So make sure you measure your shovel. You take the length of your shovel and figure that out before you plan on mounting it up here. The axe is no problem. The other stuff is no problem. But so after you do those 4 screws, and if you want to do the extra, additional strengthening zip ties, you can. And once you get the quick fists up there, then that's all there is to it. And again, I've got, you know, I've always got my shovel on me. I've always got my axe on me. I've always got an extra flashlight. I've always got my Mora knife back there. And then I've got my first aid kit. So just giving me some nice storage. And, you know, I mean, you can see too, even with all this stuff up here, my drawer system still comes pretty close to the edge here. And it doesn't really, none of that impacts any of this stuff. So it doesn't take up a ton of room. It looks like it might. That shovel looks like it's a little ways away, but especially with it turned like that, it really doesn't take up much room at all. So I love this mod. This is one of the first ones that I did to the truck, and I would highly recommend doing it if you're bored and you're on quarantine and you need something to do. So anyways, hope that's helpful for you guys. I've had a lot of people ask about it. So, you know, take it and do your own thing. There's a ton of different things you could mount in here, so I'd love to hear from you and see what you do. If you end up doing something yourself, post up in the comments below, let me know. You know, post a link to your video or your website and let me know what you did. But thanks for watching, and have a good one. All right, guys, so that was pretty much it. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Hopefully that gives you some good instructions and saves you some headache and heartache from the things that I learned myself when I was doing the mod. Again, if you have any questions or anything, or if you've done something similar, please post up in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear the things that you guys are doing to your trucks. If you have a better idea than what I did, I'd love to hear that too. So please post up down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Or if there's other things that you'd like to see me do on the channel, definitely post up below, and I'd be happy to, you know, do whatever I can to get those videos put together for you guys. So thanks again for stopping by. Again, not to beat a dead horse, but if you're not already subscribed, click that button, click the bell to be notified when new videos come out, and I will just keep making Xterra stuff for all of you. So thanks again for stopping by. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.